it's Osa, I'm a fashion critic.
The fashion critic and stylist Osama Chabbi joins me to scan the menswear collections. The trend report, we need a trend report.
All the accessories, all the fabrics, all the models.
All the details, we open every bag, we scan every fabric, every embroidery, you will know everything.
Everything.
We meet with fashion designers. They explain the bags, the shoes, the money makers of this multi-billion business that is luxury menswear. All the trends to inspire you. We talk with Jonathan Anderson from Dior.
Little sheep.
Simon Porte Jacquemus. Willy Chavaria.
They smell incredible.
All the details you didn't see at Louis Vuitton.
The rickshaw here as well. Super cool.
Choo-choo. The sales are down, so the season is super commercial. The details are perfected to the max. It's about satisfying the clients. Discreet, satisfying details.
C'est les charms cerises, tout fait en Italie.
In a world in crisis, this is super comforting fashion to escape it all. It's summer 2026 on the runway. Scenography. Paris is always the best scenography. Louis Vuitton, an Indian chessboard in front of the Beaubourg Museum, indicating that Rafaële and the studio traveled to 3 cities in India.
A gigantic dice to announce the beginning of the hostilities at LV. Rafaële invites us to play.
Coucou Beyoncé and Jay-Z, who came to greet Rafaële at Louis Vuitton. Dior by Jonathan Anderson, a replica of a room from Berlin's Gemäldegalerie Gallery, one of the best museums in the world, with just 2 paintings by Jean-Siméon Chardin that had never been united in the same room, thus articulating Jonathan Anderson's fascination for the delicacy of the Age of Enlightenment, the 18th century that obsessed Christian Dior. Strawberries, a fresh glass of water, a vase of flowers. Jacquemus, the Orangerie at Versailles. At 3 Paradis, a desert and models slowly walking like broken by a heat wave. And since there was actually a heat wave, it worked. At Issey Miyake, guys lost in the rouleau de tissu. They wander, and paf, camouflage. Do you see them? They disappear into fabric. Amiri, a huge working fontaine inside the Carreau du Temple. Camiel Fortgens, the glory of Paris, the Dutch brand invades a simple street and a Parisian of course crashed it with a bike.
Poussez-vous les fashion!
Kenzo on the Rue Royale and inside the mythical restaurant Maxim's, best art déco decoration. Kolor walks inside the courtyard and garden of the Institut National pour les Jeunes Sourds de Paris, a school for deaf kids. Officine Générale is on the rue Jules Chaplin. Ami by Alexandre Mathussi, Place des Victoires, in a circle. Auralee under the columns of the Archives National Garden in the Marais. YSL at the Bourse de Commerce. Woo Young-mi in the garden and the Hôtel Particulier that Karl Lagerfeld rented for 30 years on Rue de l'Université. Rick Owens, a mysterious metallic structure and models diving into the central atrium pool of the Palais de Tokyo. It was a performance. For the first time in recent memory, the Comme des Garçons shirt show was late. 13 minutes late, which is nothing for other brands, but incredibly late for the super punctual Comme des Garçons. Complicated hair was the alibi. And of course, c'est pas grave. We noticed the Kartik Research first show in Paris from India, a very Indian cast at Zegna.
The Indian inspiration continues at Louis Vuitton after Rafaële and the Vuitton menswear studio did an inspiration trip to India, hence the Maharajesque details.
It's all embroidered in India, and it's actually your hood is your jewelry.
The most precious hoodie ever, right?
Exactly.
Did you see Indian details in the fashion?
I did. It was very intricate. There were a lot of patterns that felt like they were inspired, and also the trunks. You know, those massive trunks. They had a lot of work on it, hand-woven work. It was really interesting.
Le point sac à main, handbags report.
Obviously, we're at Louis Vuitton, so who says LV says great bags. A lot of great bags, trunks as usual, and hints of embroideries. I'm sure everyone saw the starship, but we saw one very specific one that I'm sure you didn't see. The elephant. Let's open it now.
This is the elephant. Hard-sided. With inside, it's a jewelry case.
What's his name?
Oh, Dumbo.
Dumbo?
Could be.
animal monograms from Wes Anderson's film The Darjeeling Limited at Louis Vuitton.
Charlotte and the Damier. Found this heritage archival damier from the archive. We scanned the old truck and then we screen printed Wes's animals on top. This style is cool because it's a little hard case that you can put on top of your suitcase. It looks like the Speedy or the key ball, but extended on the knitting needles. I mean, like the shape is just... Here with the mascot of the season, the frog. So you'll see him dotted around in the collection. And guess what? Inside, what color do we have? Frog green. There's another frog. And then check this out. Check this out. So all marbles sourced around the world, creating that multicolor effect. But inside we have is here. There. Checkmate. We have stripes referencing the mouse instead of monogram this season, so we're super excited about this. So it feels like very hand-painted, very artisanal. We have the shopper story, which you know, but we have a new shade called the takeaway. So it's kind of like your takeaway bag, you know, going for a late night takeaway. He's getting a gold feel, very royal treatment. So this is with him.
Ouais. Is it embroidered or is it?
It's embroidered.
Oh la la! I thought it was glitter on my eye, but no.
It's embroidered. Upcycled leather left over from the house, so we just arbitrarily chose different colors and put them together in different configuration. Just a little something simple.
At Jacquemus, the big news is the Valérie bag.
Ce sac, c'est le sac que je sors qui est le premier sac avec le nom de ma maman, ça s'appelle le sac Valérie. C'est un sac comme ça avec, qui est doublé 100% en cuir, qui est le nouveau sac qu'on défend et qu'on sort cette saison.
And of course, everybody has a theory about the Loic clutch.
On a aussi nos ateliers de cuir, donc on peut expérimenter, on peut s'amuser à faire un poireau et le faire devenir pochette poireau. Toujours envie d'avoir du fun, la collection est toujours sérieuse, mais toujours envie d'avoir cet esprit-là avec de l'humour aussi sur les sacs, les accessoires. Il y a beaucoup de sacs. On les présente comme ça dans des petites cagettes en trompe-l'œil, les charms. On a fait une collection qu'on montrera plus tard de charms. Là, c'est les charms cerises, tout fait en Italie. Et les charms fraises. On a le Turismo qui devient romarin, avec un fil de cuir de romarin. On a de la paille fait main. On a les Turismo en crochet, que je trouve sublime. Les petites pochettes salon qui est maintenant aussi un sac important pour nous, qui est devenu un petit berlingot avec un trompe-l'œil orange. Ça c'est un des modèles phares de la maison, c'est le Bambino qui s'est transformé avec cette frame. Ça c'est un trompe-l'œil de cuir d'autruche, il n'en est pas. Ça c'est en martelé. Je suis fan de Jean-Michel Franck, donc j'avais envie aussi de faire un sac avec un gouget comme on dit, que je trouve super beau. C'est avec un trompe-l'œil un peu de bois, ça c'est aussi des pièces uniques, tressées, grainées, faux croco.
Dior, Jonathan Anderson does his first show, hence his first Dior bags. The Dior book tote is revisited.
I always thought the book tote that was in the brand was such a genius bag, because I think everyone thinks it's a canvas where it's not. And I think we probably don't explain it right, but it is entirely embroidered, which by machine, which is kind of phenomenal. And I was trying to work out a way just to kind of reinvent it, because I think it's a great bag. Dior by Dior is the book that he had done. I loved the cover of it. And I was trying to work out, how do I start in this brand? And I was thinking it's like French, Irish, like how do we merge it. So I picked sort of like French titles and Irish titles.
Which one is the Irish title?
Dracula.
Dracula is Irish?
Bram Stoker.
He was Irish, I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know when I was younger, I never knew until I walked past a building and it says Bram Stoker lived here.
Okay.
And
in Dublin?
Yeah. So that is where that came from.
And a Lady Dior by artist Sheila Hicks.
We did an amazing bag with Sheila Hicks. I've been trying to convince Sheila Hicks to work for me for ages. And I said, look, this is my first show. And this is an artwork that I've always loved. There's one at MoMA. And she has never done anything in terms with anyone. So she took the Lady Dior and made it into a little sheep.
Dries Van Noten a huge colorful bowling bag for the weekend.
The It sneaker becomes an It bag in pink satin please.
Egon Lab does the Be New, the bagpipe from Vuitton as a designer bag. Large canvas bags at Head Miner, a bag for the lemons live give you at Paul Smith, or oranges. A paper bag will do it at Martin Rose, or a cute chain bag, or this roughly mauve thing. Footwear report.
So usually the styling at LV is very blinky. This season the LV man is a little bit more corporate, chic and laid back. He's wearing flip-flops. Quite surprising, but I'm into it.
The shoe that Pharrell Williams wore at the Met Gala 2025 is returning as is or re-embroidered like a Maharaja's.
So we did the LV Jazz because he wanted like something more elegant for the Met, and based on that, because he loved it, he asked us to develop, the whole category like that.
Ah ouais.
Stones. Yeah. We have the LV Jazz loafer, the loafer derby, suede. We have the Yeti. We have the LV Bubble. Same thing for the hiking. We wanted like something a bit retro, not tech hiking, so more like 90s. And LV Tilted, let's say that it's one of the first requests from P. It was really like, I want a sneaker that I would like to wear, and I'm really into the skate spirit. Full of stones. How to do India inspiration without stones. Super important.
And there is a flip-flop overload.
The flip-flops, the LV flip, left and right. We don't know the difference between the right and the left.
At Trois Paradis, a collaboration with...
Une collaboration avec
Weston. And at Willy Chavaria, a collaboration with a mythical French shoemaker, Charles Jourdan. The loafer is a must.
This is the loafer that we just saw. With this beautiful dark brown eel skin with the original little Charles Jourdan logo.
Archive.
I know. They smell incredible. Ugh. Look at this beautiful show.
Wow, the goat. So this has been shot by Bourdin, technically?
Technically, yes, the original model of this shoe.
Thibaut Denis from Vuitton and formerly Dior collaborates with Birkenstock.
This being the mule, and here we started to think of like more dynamic line and more sporty line in the idea of the tooling. The most important for me was to make sure that it looked like a Birkenstock, to keep the mule with laces.
Do I wear it with socks or without socks?
I would always wear it with socks, but you can of course wear it without socks because the thread is unlined.
Des sandales, des tongs at Officine Générale.
Business safari. While ties were an absolute office necessity, flip-flops are now joining the ride. Flip-flops with tuxedos and three-piece suits, flip-flops for adventurous business affairs. On the rise this season, utilitarian suiting with light footwear for those who see cities as the real jungles. A corporate safari that re-explores cargos and saharians with smart dressing and flip-flops.
The tie is in, head minor. So in, it's twisted and tucked inside the shirt at Saint Laurent.
Did you see that? The tie tucked in? Now I need it all.
I haven't worn a tie in a long time, so it's nice to be back into one, right?
So in, Dunhill is ready to make 1 billion euros out of their perfect tie business, and all the looks had a tie at their fashion show. Large, ugly tie at Vivienne Westwood. Remember the ugly shoe trend? This is the ugly tie trend. Oh, it's stuck in the belt and at all the wrong places. The color palette, natural dyes at Kartik Research, a first fashion show in Paris.
We do is actually work with natural dyes, taken from like trees, plants. So like if you see brown or like deep reds, those are like tree bark, and then mixed with iron to get like a little bit darker. Yeah, like a block print like this. Like we have this sample. It's a great shirt. From a distance, it looks like a regular check shirt, but the closer you look, like really fantastic block print. The actual like production can be 10% darker, 10% lighter. We have no control over it because it's done with like plants. And that's sort of what it took a while for like our stores that we work with to get used to that, but now they sort of know what to expect. But even this piece itself, if it's kept in the sun for like, or just worn regularly for 6 months, it's gonna look very different 6 months later than it does right now.
At Willy Chavaria, it's heaven for colors. It's not blue, it's factory blue. It's not red, it's North Korean red. You don't believe us? Listen to Willy Chavaria himself. With him, colors are political.
The first thing I did is I sit with my team and we talk about the state of the world, and because it's always the political state that dictates how we are feeling. And I really started to reference the colors of factory workers and thinking about countries that are led by dictators and countries with communism and thinking about that color palette. And the color palette, when we pulled it together, actually started to look like a Guy Bourdin color palette,
wow.
Which was amazing.
Guy Bourdin is a cult fashion photographer from the 1970s and 80s. He actually shot the Charles Jourdan advertising campaigns.
And as the world has become darker, it felt like this was a time to really turn the tables and go hard with the color and really accentuate the personality and to use the color as a form of rebellion.
At Jeanne Friot, it's not colors, it's a flag.
On est parti du drapeau trans et on casse que des modèles trans et non binaires cette saison. Et pour moi, c'était vraiment un hommage à ma communauté. J'avais vraiment besoin de leur donner de la force, de l'amour et une visibilité sur ce moment-là. J'ai dessiné un tartan qui est dans les couleurs du drapeau. Donc on a un mélange entre le drapeau original et le drapeau qui s'est superposé après avec la couleur noire. Donc c'était important pour moi d'avoir les deux. J'ai vraiment travaillé des couleurs différentes. On a fait des foulards aussi. Il y a aussi cette pièce-là que j'aime beaucoup, que j'appelle le drapeau, où c'est une veste et une jupe qui forment le drapeau. Tout est au drapeau. Vraiment, c'était le point de départ. On a pris le drapeau. J'étais là, comment est-ce qu'on peut faire des drapeaux partout?
And this baby blue and baby pink are visible too on other runways, like Feng Chenwang and Kolor by Taro Oyushi.
La palette de couleurs, c'est quoi?
Ah oui, mais vraiment pour moi c'est une collection qui va du sable au soleil, vraiment avec des brins, des mastiques, du chocolat, du gris avec des touches de vermente et de vanille et tout. On s'amuse avec les noms des couleurs.
Guests dazzled by the colors at Saint Laurent by Anthony Vaccarello.
And the color, I love the colors, and the colors were amazing.
Les couleurs sont dingues. Le moment des couleurs, franchement, ça m'a... C'est le moment où j'ai fait waouh.
Le moutarde, le rose poudré, le pruneau, c'était très et Saint Laurent.
But Osa, what are the trends?
Heatwave yellow. Temperatures are rising this season. Yellow is having yet another scorching moment with a color palette reminiscent of the blazing sun. The thermometer is going up. Warm yellow is here. Jaune caniculaire. From mustards to bright sunflower yellow, mixed with warmer shades of orange. This isn't your average sunset. This is sun at its absolute peak. Happy yellow nonetheless. That smells of great optimism.
And we saw a literal banana at Doublet and a Charles Jeffrey Loverboy. Banana as pendant or keychain. The tiger pattern at Kenzo and full tiger motif at Blue Marble.
Deep dive, refreshing colors. Le bleu du fond de la piscine. On the opposite spectrum, bright blues were a great refreshment to fight the heat this season. Think the deep blue at the bottom of the pool and cool water, irresistibly fresh and clean. Freshness is clearly the new SPF.
Guadeloupean ice creams in cones or cups at Créole.
De nouvelles couleurs. Celle-ci est inspirée d'une glace à l'eau qu'on appelle les frozen chez nous en Guadeloupe.
C'est quoi les parfums du coup?
C'est menthe et grenadine. Okay. Et là, tu as la notion de diffusion en tout cas des deux parfums. Cette saison, on a commencé à cropper un peu les filets de pêche là parce que c'est bien de les avoir longs, mais c'est encore mieux de les avoir petits.
Matcha, caramel, citronnelle at Ami.
T'as vu les couleurs? C'est beau, hein?
Lots of matcha at Blue Marble. Pronouns, Zegna.
How do you call this color?
Tannin.
Tannin?
As the wine.
At Rear, a new brown, a new pale buttery blonde.
Ça, c'est beurre, parce qu'on reste quand même à la ferme. Et ça, c'est dent. Du coup, c'est l'animal, dent. Fog. You have avio. En italien, c'est un peu l'aviation, et c'est du céleste un peu gris.
Wine by the pool. Somewhere between a crushed berry and a glass of red wine that has warmed up in the sun. Think hibiscus shades and plums, rising as the new alternative to brown. It's not burgundy, it's prune. It's not cherry, it's wine o'clock. From Saint Laurent to Le Maire, it's always a good time for cassis.
Green, 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 brown and beige at Auralee, layering colors. Flower power on LSD at Craig Green. The idea is to escape the real. Pink and grey at Dior, the two favorite colors of Christian.
We witnessed the rise of BCBG fashion at Dior, knits on shoulders and lifted collars. Color rebellion, from maximalist colors on bare skin at Shanswen to flying colors at Egon Lab, but also colors are unconventional this season. They come in all shapes and forms, and even in the shape of roses at Kids Super. Versailles-like neck braces at Jonathan Anderson's first Dior.
Ce sont des cols, il y a un renfort à l'intérieur, un crin qu'on peut toucher et qui est recouvert avec un satin en plein biais. Pourquoi? Pour ne faire aucune couture. Donc il n'y a aucune couture ici, aucune couture là quand on soulève, parce que le biais se plaque très bien sur les matières un peu en forme. Et après on a le petit nœud plissé comme ça, toujours dans le satin. Et on règle ça avec des petites brides brodées à la main. Donc il y a un premier réglage et un deuxième réglage.
Et ça c'est fait ici, tout est fait ici.
Et c'est fait ici, oui. Et on a été tellement fiers quand on est allé au bout et que Jonathan a adoré.
And super practical if you have a bad habit of scratching your nose, the best way to quit is this outfit by Issey Miyake. Et hop, impossible to touch your own face anymore.
Heritage stripes. This season, stripes are for the traveler, the globetrotter. Stripes are for those who dare step out in their PJs. Stripes to chill. Stripes for hours in the Orient Express. Stripes for the lavish dandy. A new stripe style is on the rise. Stripes that look lived in. Stripes head to toe and in little touches like Saint Laurent. But also
Colorama stripes at Craig Green and at Dries Van Noten, where they used dead stock of fabrics they had in the cellar. So it's antique jacquard, a strong personality.
All day PJs. After the stripes comes the PJ, and in recession times, everything needs to be repurposed.
We found out while working on this collection that actually pyjama comes from India. and it was made for day wear. It was worn during the day. And when it was brought to Western world, it became an evening wear. So we thought it was quite interesting to bring it back to something that we would wear to go out. And that's a classic jacquard stripy fabric.
PJs for a date night, PJs to take the plane, or PJs to go to brunch, but also PJs to travel light or simply PJs to the office. This season, PJs are the new must-have and they better be a set. Paired with your favorite sneakers at Wells Bonner, it's a collab with Y3. PJs are worn under light striped coats at Dries and layered under blazers chez Saint Laurent.
What to wear for the beach in 2026? A matcha bathing suit and a basket for your sandwich at noon at the Cap Ferret. A deep neckline tank top, a Death in Venice bathing suit. Fantastic tanning lines on the front and on the back with this bathing suit at Vivienne Westwood. With Saul Nash cool tan lines that you can adjust. Or a creative mesh tan line at Hermès.
Tissé ajouré, en fait, c'est vraiment des lamelles de cuir qu'on a tissé ajouré pour avoir de l'air et reformuler des chemises, des t-shirts aussi, des bandes sur les pantalons. C'était pour moi une nouvelle façon d'avoir du cuir l'été et du cuir en ville. Je trouve que c'est une nouvelle proposition. Enfin, je suis très contente du résultat.
A mini tank top from Niccolo Pasqualetti or a suggestive swimsuit. Chez Trois Paradis, il y a une collab avec Villebrequin.
C'est vraiment nos colombes qui s'envolent dans le ciel paradisiaque, dans ce monde qu'on a créé avec Villebrequin ensemble. Et toujours derrière avec la fameuse étiquette collaborative que j'adore.
Voilà. Là, on nage en paix.
Exactement.
All over printed flowers at Headminer. All over flowers embroideries at Dries Van Noten. All over flowers on jackets at Junya Watanabe. Junya Watanabe, who also print an Elizabeth Peyton painting and the touristic places you want to visit. Trippy, flashy, cool prints at Paul Smith.
Hoods to hide, hoods to have your own space, hoods to disappear, hoods to certainly avoid your work colleagues on a night out, hoods that zip up to the top for the little Demna in you that wants bright light, yet secrecy.
The hoodie that becomes a very holy halo at Egon Lab. Oversized polos at Dior and at Vivienne Westwood and at Celine's first show by Michael Ryder. Accessories. So at Officine Générale by Pierre Maheo, cord as belt. Also a cord as belt at Auralee, a leather glasses holder. Super glittery glasses at Craig Green, a large scarf as Sari. The badge that Julien Klausner, the new artistic director at Dries Van Noten, keeps wearing even when he takes a bow, just in case security don't recognize him yet and jump on him. In Martin Rose, you just hold a t-shirt. Le Maire puts mysterious necklaces for men back on the map. Even beads or gua sha forks for massaging your face and sculpting your jaw. Favorite accessories, a tube of paint as necklace for the artist, signaling undiluted creativity.
Hats to surprise. While hats are my absolute yearly must-have, fashion wouldn't be fashion without a little perversion. This season, hats come in all shapes and forms. In the most surprising one, and almost feel out of cartoon, hats as real conversation starters, hats as icebreakers. At Saint Chuen, hammer hats are in. At Kids Super, they're flowers in desperate need of water. At Egon Lab, they're layered on top of a crocheted piece for comfort, and at Walter van Byron Donk, they're adorned with artificial flowers because they last longer.
The giant baseball caps from Comme des Garçons Homme Plus with their mammoth hair. In the mind of Rei Kawakubo, it's the hat of the shaman who will save us all from war and greed. The most charming, simple basket-like woven hat by Seichu. Staging and politics. GmbH in Berlin starts with 58 seconds of silence in homage to Gaza before the show. At Comme des Garçons shirt, Non-Toxic Garçon is written on the back of the redingote by the hand of the artist Dan Perchowski. World Hope, People Power. Jeanne Friot writes "Trans Lives Matter" on her militant t-shirt. The Etude Studio guys tell you alternatives are possible, and they were actually wearing it. "Don't tag me," says the t-shirt at Maison Mihara Yasuhiro, meaning leave me out of your digital loop. Parasite at Undercover. "Stand by me," pleads Yoji Yamamoto. Junya Watanabe prints a portrait by Munch of Hans Jäger, the radical anarchist activist, nihilistic writer and philosopher of free love who attacked capitalism, religion, morality. Drama of the season, lots of blues and lots of beige at Giorgio Armani, so all is good, but no, Mr. Armani did not take a bow this season. Instead, it was a much respected Leo Del Lorco, head of design from the men's collections. But we hear Giorgio Armani is still micromanaging every button in the company. Believe us.
Et voilà!
Voila, this was our report about the menswear season in Paris for summer 2026. We have full videos about the Dior show by Jonathan Anderson, Willy Chavaria, Jeanne Friot, Ami by Alexandre Matussi, Balenciaga Haute Couture, Saint Laurent by Anthony Vaccarello. Right now I feel naked if you got till the end in the comments. And now, bisous.
Bisous!
Bisous!